Playing games at work.
CPC History Museum loading.
Where is everything? How am I supposed to learn about the CPC when there's nothing here? Guess it'll be challenging.
Challenging moments from CPC history. What would you like to see first?
I guess if the CPC is celebrating its 100 years, then it'd be cool to go back and see where it all began.
Loading 1920s. During this time period, Chinese people were under oppression from both feudalism and imperialism, especially for the peasants in rural China. They were facing famine and under the control of warlords. Early founders of the CPC thought that establishing a party under the guidance of Marxism would free the people from oppression and let them be the masters of the country, which is the CPC's primary goal.
Gosh, I didn't realize things were so chaotic.
The formation of the party wasn't easy. The first National Congress of the CPC was held in this boat in 1921 to avoid people who were looking to stop the communist movement. Chinese people call it Hongquan, or Red Boat.
Small boat for a national congress.
True, but at the time, there were only 58 party members all over China.
Impressive. From 58 party members then to over 91 million party members today. How did the CPC stand out, though? There were a lot of political parties vying for power then.
In 1927, Mao Zedong began to carry out land reforms in Jingnanshan, the first rural revolutionary base ruled by the CPC. Before the reforms, the population of farmers took up over 80% in China. After the reforms were carried out, farmers were then given the right to plant on their own land for the first time in history. Additionally, the land tax was reduced from as high as 70% to less than 15%. Since then, farmers could make their own living. Afterwards, such reforms were promoted to other revolutionary bases across the whole country. In 1945, Chairman Mao Zedong said that the party considers people as gods, and the key belief of the party was about giving people full respect and priority.
That's interesting. I've never heard that analogy before. So far, everything is pretty good, but why don't you show me something really impressive?
Turn around. In 1978, China's Reform and Opening Up policy was put forward at the third plenary session of the 11th Central Committee. This paved the way for China's accelerated economic growth and innovation.
It is crazy how far China's come in such a short time. And I consider myself an international citizen, but it's so strange to think how different my experience in China would be had I come here 40-odd years ago.
This historical decision encouraged people to venture into business, and thus new entrepreneurs emerged. The living conditions of people from all walks of life greatly improved. In 1978, China's per capita GDP was only 385 yuan. By 2020, the per capita GDP reached to 72,000 yuan, an increase of 186 times.
The 2020s, this is more my era. I know where to go next. Computer, take me to the present day.
Loading.
In 2021, General Secretary Xi Jinping declared China had scored a complete victory in its fight against poverty. A total of 98.99 million people in rural areas, 128,000 impoverished villages, and 832 designated poor counties shook off poverty thanks to the party, CPC members, and numerous initiatives such as rural revitalization and tourism.
Yes, it's members like Jiang Wenhong who really shows us what it means to be a CPC member.
这一次我做了一个决定，把所有的岗位的医生全部换下来，换成谁？换成科室的所有的共产党员。共产党员在宣誓的时候不是说吗？把人民的利益放在第一位，迎着困难上。我说现在开始把所有的人都换下来，共产党员上。
It's great to see someone communicate what being a CPC member means to them.
Just as General Secretary Xi Jinping emphasized, the CPC always fights for the people.
加入中国共产党，
拥护党的纲领，遵守党的章程，
履行党员义务，执行党的决定，
严守党的纪律，保守党的秘密，
对党忠诚，积极工作，
为共产主义奋斗终身，
随时准备为党和人民牺牲一切，
永不叛逆。
So, what do you think of our virtual CPC museum?
It's fascinating. In fact, I like it so much, I am going back in.